Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Living with XXY. I'm Ryan Briganti, and today is one of the most amazing special days. So 4 years ago, I was standing in this exact same deck and making a YouTube channel about what it was like to live life with Klinefelter syndrome. So 4 years ago, I walked back and forth to the camera 43 times before I actually had a video that I was confident about to put onto YouTube for my first video. And when I did that, I was putting my life out there and I was really being put into a very vulnerable situation. But I knew that if I was to talk about what life was like, just living with Klinefelter syndrome and extra X chromosome, that I could potentially reach out and find others out there all over the world that were diagnosed with this, that have been kind of keeping quiet about it, or the people that were open about it, and they would reach out. And so 4 years ago, just a simple YouTube video, and a little less than 2 years ago, we started a nonprofit organization. So I'm the president and founder, and we will be 2 years of that nonprofit organization, Living with XXY, on November 6th, 2021. This, just putting a video on YouTube has changed the trajectory of my life. It's given me a real purpose of living life and taking my kindness and my willingness to help others and help others within the community that I have the DNA with. I share an extra chromosome with thousands of guys all over the world, thousands of kids all over the world. And I wanted to change. I wanted to inspire and help change 50 years, 5 decades of misinformation, negative information, and just crap, right? Like, you're being told by, once I started this and once I put myself out there, I just started getting messages from people all over the world of, I was told to terminate, I was told to abort, I was told my kid would never live on his own, he would be mentally retarded, he would never be able to graduate high school. Like, just all these like horrible things. Like, it's incredible that all this negative information, I was just hearing it constantly from people all over the world. And I was like, how do we change this? How do we take something that is one of the most common chromosome conditions in men, yet rarely diagnosed, where it has stigmas of infertility, just crap when you read it online, when you see the photos of the black strips through people's eyes, just the lack of like real people out there wanting to really put themselves out there and show what life is actually like. So it's been a wild and incredible ride. But with that being said, Living with XXY evolved into this community. There are thousands of people all over the world that are part of our community. Every day we get messages of people that are newly diagnosed. With non-invasive prenatal testing, more mothers are finding out in utero that their sons will have Klinefelter syndrome, which brings up the challenge of the misinformation about termination is better than allowing that child to have this kind of life, because life with Klinefelter syndrome is just so difficult. It's so bad. It's not. Yes, there are struggles, but guess what? Everyone struggles. That's just part of life. The positives definitely outweigh the negatives, but the only way we change these stigmas is building this community, getting people to come out of the shells that they've been living in, and finding the community, finding support within their local family, within their local friends, and really just putting themselves out there like I did 4 years ago. It's changing. We're making a huge difference. I'm losing my thought process on what I'm trying to say, because I've honestly, oh man, this was such a good video. So this is the frustrating part, is I just do this all based off verbatim of what I'm trying to say, and I get distracted in my mind of what I want to say and how I'm trying to say it, and then I ramble about stuff too and get off topic. It's definitely hard making like perfect videos and putting them on YouTube, but I'm just human, and that this is part of life, right? Everyone wants to see perfection, and I'm not perfect, and I don't expect myself to be perfect and put out perfect videos. So we'll just keep this one in there, and you can see the frustration of I know what I want to say, but it's hard for me to sometimes vocalize how I want to say it. So the impact that Living with XXY, now being a nonprofit organization, has had a tremendous impact within our community. We're making a huge difference as a community. And the number one thing that we have done is we have made a safe space for people that when they find out that they have Klinefelter syndrome, that there is resources and that they are not alone. That is the most important thing about spreading awareness, is giving people a safe space that they can tell their family, they can show their family that, hey, you know, don't Google Klinefelter syndrome because of all this misinformation and decades of just stigmas and images and just things that doctors and research has said that we can't do. Go to Living with XXY. You can see stories and success and triumphs over the struggles and all these incredible things that each one of the individuals that is born with Klinefelter syndrome, it doesn't make up the full sum of who they are as a person. So when you read about Klinefelter syndrome on the internet, you know, it's a spectrum. It doesn't say that it's a spectrum. So not every guy or kid or child with Klinefelter syndrome is going to experience every single symptom that it says. And what the internet doesn't say is, what is life really like? What are the people out there that have this, that have lived their whole life knowing or not knowing they have it, and then finding out later in life that they have it due to male infertility and trying to have kids? What has their quality of life been? How have they enjoyed themselves? Who are their friends? What do they like to do for fun? You know, just normal life. And that word normal, a lot of people in our community use it in quotation marks, because truly, what is normal? There is no normal today because people are more accepting than they ever have been, I feel. There's a lot of craziness in the world right now, a lot of division, a lot of differences in opinions. But when it comes to like just sharing life about what it's like to live passionately, successfully, positively through the struggles with Klinefelter syndrome, Living with XXY is doing that job. We are giving our community just real life. And we have some incredible things that we've done. We have an incredible podcast series. We have this incredible blog series on our website. We have lots of great information for early intervention, for families that need services. And we're doing incredible things with the really small team we have. I want to really highlight, I know that I created this YouTube and I created this and I'm the founder, but I really want to highlight all the people that have shared their stories with us, that have done podcasts, that want to be in our documentary series, and to my incredible team. Marcy Tatham, she's a secretary, mother with a son with Klinefelter syndrome, board member. Daniel Melchef, if not one of my best friends that I've known since 2009. He's our creative director / treasurer. He's also our board member. And then to Chelsea, to Jen, to Kim, to Carson, to Susan, to my girlfriend for supporting me. Julia, I almost forgot your name. I mean, geez, put myself in the doghouse with that one. All these people that have just come together and seen the passion through my eyes of wanting to make a difference, change the stigma, give people a safe space to tell their story, and to not allow the fear of misinformation to change the possible life or the lives of those living with Klinefelter syndrome. I said a quote a while ago. It was about not letting the stigmas of the past destroy the voices of the future. And we are those voices of the future, to put ourselves out there and to make a real big difference, because there are thousands of people all over the world living with Klinefelter syndrome that feel like they're alone, and there's thousands of kids that are terminated every year because of the misinformation within the medical community about what life is like. So with that being said, 4 years today, it's a very big celebration, a very big day for me, for my organization, my friends, my family, and those in our community who have supported us from the get-go. So thank you all for reaching out and wanting to make a bigger difference. It's been an incredible experience, and we have so many more years to come. So thank you. Much love.